testing the software application to test whether the functionalities of the application is working as expected or not, that are specified in the requirement document. Okay. So generally, after the development of the application, right, the developers will develop the application. After the development of the application, the testers will make sure that whatever the functionalities that they have implemented in the application, that functionality is properly working or not, they will test it. So this process is nothing but testing of an application. So we have so many software applications right now, right? So everything is making it a software application, right? So if you see, when you want to purchase anything, so you have an online software application where you can order your products through the software, to that application only, right? So if you want to transfer an amount, right? So you can log into your bank account and then you can transfer that amount as well, right? So bank application, right? There is one software application. So that applications, right, will be generally developed by the developers, right? In any of the technology or languages, .NET, Java, and SAP, whatever it may be, right? VB languages. So whatever they have implemented, before going to send it to live, right, or before going to use that software by the customers or the end users, so the testers will make sure that every functionality in that application is properly working as per expected or not. That process is nothing but testing of an application here. Okay? Clear?
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Now, what is the purpose of testing here? So why are the testers should make sure that the functionalities are properly working or not? What is the purpose here? Suppose if you see, when you are going to purchase any of the product or any of the goods, right? So generally, what will the products? Based on what we'll decide, okay, this is the one I can purchase. So what generally we look into the products to purchase?
I'm sorry, I'm not able to hear you. I can hear the sound, the breathing sound.
Is it okay?
Yeah, now it's okay.
Okay. I just make fan speed.
Oh,
okay. Okay. So what is the purpose of testing here? So why we should have to make sure that these functionalities of the application are properly working or not? So the main purpose is to maintain the quality of the application. Okay. See, whenever we are going to buy anything or purchase anything, we'll always look for the quality ones only, the best ones, right? In the same way, when we develop a software application, so that application should be with quality, right, or the best one. So to get a quality application or to maintain the quality in the application, so we are going for testing of the application. So actually what we'll do in the testing, we'll test the functionalities and make sure they are working fine. If any functionality is not working, we will report it to the developer saying that, okay, this functionality is not working, this is not as per the expected. So we'll report it immediately and the developer will try to get it, fix it, right? So obviously by the end of all the functionalities tested, right, by the testers, every functionality is going to work, because every functionality the testers are testing, and if any functionality is not working fine, they are reporting it and getting them fixed by the developers. So at the end of the testing, we'll get an application without any issues or without any errors. So that application we can call it a quality application. So that is the main purpose of the testing here, to get a quality application at the end. So here the quality defines that an application without any errors, we can call it a quality application. Or we can call it a bug-free application is a quality application here. Okay? Right?
Okay.
Right. A bug-free application is a quality application. Okay. Now, right. Here, testing process. We'll see at high level for your idea. So here, I just define the testing in simple 2 lines. But testing process. So when we want to really test an application, it's not that simple as we stated in simple 2 lines. It's a huge process to test an application, right? So in order to test an application, we should have to follow some process here, right? So first, at a high level, you can say planning, functionalities, execution, bug reporting, status reports. Right. So this is a testing process. First, we should have a proper plan how to test an application. So when to start the testing, when to end up the testing. So how many functionalities you have to test, how many testers are required to test these functionalities, right? So, right, okay. So what are the software applications required for this application to test, right? So what configurations we have to set for our hardware system, right? So everything they have to consider and put it in a proper process. That is nothing but plan, right? So that plan should be there. Functionalities. So we should have to first list out what are the functionalities that we have to test it. Okay. So how can we know that, okay, these are the functionalities that we have to validate? From the requirement document, right? So there will be a requirement document with respect to the application. So we should have to go through that requirement document thoroughly, and we should have to list out the functionality. Okay, for this application, these are the functionalities we have to validate. We have to list out the functionalities, and then we have to execute them. Execution means testing the functionalities. Okay, right? And then while executing, if you are identifying any errors in the functionalities, then we should have to report it to the developer. So how to report it? So that we can discuss in the bug reporting section and status report. So at the end of the testing or at the end of the day, so we should have to send our status report to the higher people, team lead, project manager, or project lead managers, right? So we have to send our report. Okay, this is what we tested. These are functionalities we tested. Out of these functionalities are working fine, these are not working fine. So these are blocking, these are unable to test it. Like that, we should have to send a status report. So this is the entire process of testing here at a high level. Okay, so this process we are going to discuss in each and every phase. Planning is one. Right, who will do the planning? How the planning will be there? Right. So what are the things that we should have to consider before planning it? Right. And how to list out the functionalities, right, from the requirement document, okay, and how to execute the functionalities, after that how to report the bugs, right? So how the developer will react after reporting the bug, right? And then status report. So how to send the status report. So like that. So we'll discuss everything here, right, in this one. Okay? Clear? Right. Coming to after within process, we are going to discuss two tools here, QC and QTP. Quick test profession, right? QC and QTP. So QC is nothing but quality center, right? So where so it is nothing but a management tool, right? It's nothing but a management tool to manage all the activities of the testing. Okay, that means that so this is one of the tools where we use to manage our testing activities. So the testing activities are planning, functionalities, listing out, execution of the functionalities, reporting the bugs, sending the status report, all are nothing but testing activities in the testing process. So all these activities can be managed and implemented in this QC. So why we have to use the QC? What is the purpose of QC here? So the purpose of this is to maintain or implement our testing activities. So using QC, we can prepare our test plan in the QC itself. We can write the or we can list out the functionalities of a project in the QC itself. We can also report the bugs if any identified from the QC itself to the developers, quality center itself to the developers, and we can also get the reports, the status report of a project from the QC itself. So every activity of a project can be performed or managed or implemented from the quality center. So how to make use of the quality center? Right? We'll see. That is one of the tools we'll discuss. And QTP is nothing but automation tool. So we can test the application in two ways. Either manually we can test it or automatically we can test the functionalities of the application. If you want to test it manually, so manual effort is enough, right? So manual effort in the sense we have to test the functionalities by performing the user operations manually by ourselves. So we will perform the operations on the application manually by yourself and we will test that application. Suppose I want to test that login functionality of a bank application, right? Just make sure whether a customer or a account, right, account holder is able to log into the bank account or not. So what we have to do, we have to enter the account ID, we have to enter the account password and we have to click on sign button. So that is the user operations. If that user operations are performing manually by ourselves and make sure that particular functionality is working or not, it's just like manually testing the application. So automatically in the sense means we are going to use some tool, right, where in the tool we are going to create the scripts, right, automation scripts, right. So when we run the scripts, right, the script statements will run and the user operations will be performed on the application automatically on the application. That is, the tool itself will enter the name in the name text box, will enter the password in the password text box and click on the sign in button. So here, whatever the operations we will do manually, that operations will be performed automatically by the tool itself and test that functionality. So for that one, we should have to use one of the automation tool we are going to discuss is QTP. Where using the QTP, we are going to generate the scripts. So for what we will generate the script? For the user operations of the functionality, right? For what functionality you want to test it automatically, with respect to the functionality, what are the user operations are there? For that user operations, we have to create the script. So how to create the scripts, right? How to make use of the QTP, how can we test an application automatically using the QTP, right? We'll discuss those tips in the QTP. Okay, right? Clear? So this is about at a high level introduction of the QA here, right? So for this, it will take 2 to 2.5 weeks, and remaining 1.5 weeks will be taken for the QTP. Okay, right? So
And
QC and
also,
QTP, yeah.
and also they said about the management tool. I don't know what is that management tool.
QC is only the management tool.
Okay.
Quality center itself we can call the management tool, which is going to manage our testing activities. Actually, to get it clear for you, see, suppose I want to prepare a plan of a project, a test plan of a project. I can use a Word document. Using the Word document application, I can prepare the test plan of a project. If I want to list out a functionalities, I can use Excel sheet in general. So if I want to report a bug, any identified issue or a error in a functionality, I can report it through mails, right? So here, to perform different activities of testing, we are using different applications like WordPad application, Excel sheet application, email systems like that. Okay, so instead of using different applications to perform the testing activities of the application, we can use single management tool called Quality Center. Okay, where we can prepare the test plan in the Quality Center for a project. So we can list out the functionalities of a project in the Quality Center itself. We can also report the bugs of a project from the Quality Center itself. Right? Every activity we can manage and implement from the Quality Center itself. That's why we can call the management tool here. Okay, right?
Okay.
Okay. And related to QC and QTP, we will provide the softwares. We will send out the links. So from that link, you can download the softwares. Right? We will help you out in